on nuclear energy and in particular Indian Point?
Yeah, I think it's vital. I visited the plant. You know, I own a home in Peekskill. We bought it about 3.5 years ago, and before I purchased a home, the biggest investment of our lives, I looked into it because I didn't want to live. Was it a mile as the crow flies from Peekskill to Buchanan? And I looked into it. You know, not in a political fashion. Is my family going to be safe here? And I did the research on my own, and I felt safe to buy a home there. I toured the plant. I feel even better now. John Hall has refused to tour the plant. He's willing to not relicense, to fight against relicensing, throw away, I think, 1,800 good middle-class paying jobs when he won't even go in there and kick the tires a little bit and ask the hard questions. They want him. They want him to come. I challenge them to go visit. Let's go visit it. Ask some questions. I ask tough questions. You know, security is kind of something that I'm interested in to know about. When I got to Indian Point, I had an appointment. I had a background check. I got to Indian Point. This might have been a coincidence. I'm not sure. There was a armed guard, a member of the National Guard with an M16, and a state trooper. Now that might not be the norm, but that at any point there are those three guys there meeting me with an appointment after having a background check. Tells me in terms of the kind of hysteria that a terrorist attack is going to lead to some kind of disaster at Indian Point. In addition to the technical protections, the perimeter protections, which is kind of my expertise, securing the perimeter, were outstanding. So, yes, I'm for nuclear power. I'm for Indian Point. 20% of the state's electricity, I think, comes from Indian Point. And what are we going to replace it with? Even Democrats like Spitzer, when he was in office, said, we got to close down Indian Point when we have an alternative. Very quietly, they said, when we have an alternative. When do you think we have an alternative for that? If we do have an alternative, wind? I love wind. I think it's fair. I went to Ireland. They have windmills everywhere. And they were very controversial at the time, but now they don't even notice it. You know, I think it's great, but we're not Ireland. We have a bigger, more dynamic, more dense population. We have Manhattan down the street. Right now we need nuclear power. And I was at the beach the other day, flying a kite with Katie there, and sometimes the wind doesn't blow. So we need something reliable. Nuclear power always generates.
And also, speaking of energy, what about the trend, the undeniable trend, towards going green? I mean,
they're exactly what that always means. I hear about green collar jobs. I know about blue collar. I know about white collar. I know they're important. Green collar jobs is still kind of out there, coming out of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton's mouth. But I think keeping the country and the Hudson Valley beautiful. Where we live, the Bear Mountain Bridge, we cross it all the time because I'm always campaigning in Orange County, Rockland County, and that's spectacular. I wouldn't want a factory there. I wouldn't want anything there. I believe in conservation. Teddy Roosevelt, one of my great heroes, is the father of American conservation. I think things should be considered. If we can be more efficient, I'm a Republican. I think everything should be more efficient. I told you about switching from an SUV to a little compact that gets 35 miles to the gallon, despite the little lack of comfort and that. So I'm for being green within reason. I'm not for bankrupting the country or destroying the economy in an effort to save some obscure animal.
Right.
That's one definition of green. I think there's environmentalism, and then I think there's eco-extremism. The one falls on the eco-extremism side of things. Patrick Moore, the co-founder of Greenpeace, who also toured Indian Point, says if you're an environmentalist, you have to support nuclear energy because it is the most clean and the most safe and the most reliable. And that's a mainstream environmentalist, which I'm all for. And then you have eco-extremists like my opponent.
I noticed in your campaign literature there's a reference to to Congressman Hall's MoveOn.org affiliation and how he's raised millions. And what are your thoughts on campaign financing in general? But I know you also
finance reform, or
yeah. I mean,
I don't think it works. I defend the Constitution on 5 continents, and I think it's 5 continents. So I believe in the First Amendment, and most, if not all, campaign finance laws, I think, impinge on the First Amendment. The McCain-Feingold Act, I'm a big supporter of McCain. I think he tried to fix the problem, but the solution, A, didn't work, and B, probably impinged on the First Amendment. So, and I think public financing is a terrible idea also. The government should do less and spend less. I think our system is imperfect, but it's a pretty good system. This is a guy who's, being outraised. But all the money in the world cannot make John Hall right on the issues. He just can't. He has all this money. He's going to run commercials. What's he going to say? I said the surge wouldn't work. It didn't work. I'm not for drilling. I'm for. He defended keeping the gas tax where it is. He's just going to say I'm a nice guy and kind of put out some platitudes like the presidential candidate of that party. But at the end of the day, we're hustling. We got 13,000 people in this district signed petitions to get me on the ballot. That's a stunning number. I go to every community event, probably 150 so far this summer. I'm not sure if you heard my whole speech. I've seen John Hall twice. I don't know if I pioneered this. You tell me if you've seen this before, but at first I marched in the parades, and I realized nobody knows my face. I need to talk to them and shake their hand and tell them what I'm all about. So now I go 15 minutes before the parade starts. People are gathered at the parade route, but there's nothing to do. So I walk the parade route. I stay about 15 minutes ahead of the parade. I talk to everybody. I shake their hands. I give them my literature, and I win votes. Hall's not doing that. And I do hundreds of people a day, thousands a week, plus the people we knock on their doors, and I'm confident that's going to carry the day. Absolutely.